Hello, people who are listening to Radio Show Springfield. This is your host, Alec Haller, or Homer Simpson, where I feel like it's going to be Alec Haller. Anyways, we got some more jokes to read here. Unfortunately, YouTube is kind of bad, so we're just going to discuss this. Here is the first, well, in the news right now, it's about 81 degrees outside. It's pretty high. Yeah, it's high outside. Good, I'm using Audacity for this part. I want to thank you for listening to this show, and we are going to start with the jokes. Okay, this isn't a joke, but I got it off of funniestjokes.com, I believe. Or just search jokes on YouTube and click on one that has something to do with funny jokes. Alright, sorry about that. I was just looking at Audacity here, and it's telling me everything I want to know. So, here is the first joke. It will start in just a little bit. I'll be pausing. Okay, I just came back. You guys probably will not notice that, but I just paused it right there. It's going to sound pretty weird, so let's start reading some of those jokes I told you. Okay, looks like we went to stop early here, so if we have to stop early, this will be continued later, hopefully. So thank you for listening. Let's get started on that joke now. Alrighty, here's the first one. A duck hunter... Alright, I'm going to try to read this good, I don't know. Here it is. A duck hunter was out in the marsh enjoying the beautiful hunting weather when he felt the urge to relieve himself. So, he walked over to the bushes and propped his gun against the tree. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind blew and knocked his gun over, discharging it and shooting him in the genitals. Genitals is what I said. Awakening several hours later in a hospital bed, our duck hunter is approached by his doctor. "Sir," the doc begins, "I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is there's no internal damage. We were able to remove all of the buckshot." "Wow, that's great," replied the hunter. "So, what's the bad news?" The bad news is that there was some pretty extensive buckshot damage done in your penis. I'm gonna have to refer you to my sister." "Oh, well, that's not so bad, I guess," the hunter replied. "Is your sister a plastic surgeon?" "Not exactly," answered the doctor. She's a flute player in the local symphony, and she's going to teach you where to put your finger so you don't pee in your eye." Woohoo, every clap. That's a joke. It's called Duck Hunter. Here's the next one, which is pretty long. I'll try to read it goodly. Next one is called A Man Walked into the Barroom. Alrighty. A man walked into a bar room one day. He walked up to the bartender and said, "Bartender, I'd like to buy the house a round of drinks." The bartender said, "No problem, sir, but I'll need to see some money first." The guy pulls out a huge wad of bills and sets them on the bar. The bartender can't believe what he's seeing. "Where did you get all of this money?" asked the bartender. "I'm a professional gambler," replied the man. The bartender said, "There's no such thing. I mean, your odds are 50-50 at best, right?" "Well, I only bet on sure things," said the guy. "Like what?" asked the bartender. "Well, for example, I'll bet you $50 that I can bite my right eye." The bartender thought about it. "Okay," so the guy pulls out his false right eye and bites it. "Ah, you screwed me," said the bartender, and paid the guy $50. "I'll give you another chance. I'll bet you another $50 that I can bite my left eye," said the stranger. The bartender thought again and said, "Well, I know you're not blind. I mean, that's his watch, but I mean, I watched you walk in here. I'll take the bet." So the guy pulls out his false teeth and bites his left eye. "Ah, you screwed me again." "That's how I win so much money, bartender." "I'll just take a bottle of your best scotch and Leo for $100, said the man. With that, the guy went to the back room and spent the better part of the night playing cards with some of the locals. After many hours of drinking and card playing, he stumbled up to the bar. The guy, drunk as a skunk, said, "Bartender, I'll give you one last chance. I'll bet you $500 that I can stand at this bar here on one foot and piss into the whiskey bottle on the shelf behind you without spilling a drop." The bartender once again pounded his bet. The guy couldn't even stand up straight on 2 feet, much less one. "Okay, you're on." The guy climbed up on the bar, stood on one leg, and began pissing all over the place. He hit the bartender. He hit the bartender himself, but not a drop made it. Okay, I'm just gonna restart that. Okay, you're on. The guy climbed up onto the bar, stood on one leg, and began pissing all over the place. He hit the bartender himself, but not a drop made it into the whiskey bottle. The bartender was ecstatic. Laughing, the bartender said, "Hey, pal, you owe me $500. This guy climbed down off the bar and said, "That's okay. I just bet each of the guys in the poker room $1,000 that I could piss all over you and the bar and still make you laugh." Woohoo! Everybody clap. I screwed up over there, but let's hope that never happens again. Thank you for listening. Those are the two funny poems. Jokes, I guess you could call them. We will not be on tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Wednesday? We will try to be on tomorrow, but there's going to be some technical difficulties. So thank you for listening. Here is some wacky sounds that will be on. Hopefully, I don't know. I did this last time. It didn't work, so. Okay, you can fit some wacky sounds in there. Hopefully they're there. I don't know if I'll put them in there or not. And if, I'm recording, so I know. So thank you for listening. Bye-bye.